Alright, so if you could learn any talent, what would it be?
Learn how to play the guitar.
And why is that?
Because I grew up watching my brother teach himself and play in bars and mini concerts, and I just saw the attraction it is for people and the fun and different generations, and I thought, wow, that's pretty good, so that's something I'd love to do.
Nice. And if you could travel anywhere, and I mean anywhere, where would it be?
To another planet.
Do you have any particular planet that you're thinking of, or
just another planet to see a different form of life and see what it's like, to see if we're there. I think there are a lot of things we could do better. Maybe we can learn it from someone from another planet, because I don't think we're learning it too well right now.
Interesting. And what do you think the biggest problem young people face today is?
I think that children today are handed over a lot, and I think that a lot of parents are trying to make up for the time that they haven't been able to spend with their children, maybe because of their careers.
Okay.
And the level that people want to live today.
If you could travel anywhere, and this is anywhere, where would it be?
That's so funny that you're asking that, because we're getting ready to go to Italy, and this is the first time out of the country. So I think I did have an opportunity to pick where I wanted to go, and that's the one that came up.
So, what do you consider being successful? Like, how do you define success?
Success in life?
Yeah.
Well, it's different for everybody. Being happy, being content with who you are and what you're doing, I think that's success.
So imagine, do you have kids?
I have one kid.
Okay. I mean, if there's anything that you think you would change, like if you were your parents, what would you want to know beforehand?
To push me harder, maybe. And some things that when I was a kid I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so maybe push me harder in one direction instead of just letting me kind of figure it out on my own.
If you could acquire any skill or any talent, I guess, what would it be?
Speaking a second language, Spanish.
And just any reason why?
I use it in my field all the time, in construction, and I just think it's great to be bilingual.
If you could travel anywhere, and this means anywhere, it doesn't have to be a real place, anything like that, where would it be?
Anywhere. That's a hard one. Travel the United States. I have yet to see the entire United States, so all 50 states.
Great. How would you define being successful?
It's an accomplishment that you wanted to accomplish, and then is doing something for society.
Alright, and so I know you already have kids, but imagine that you're your parents. Imagine, like, what would you do differently if you were them, teaching you, raising you, if anything? What would you think of?
I think they could have encouraged more personal exploration.
Okay.
More, like pushed more. Sometimes when you're a kid, you're into something, but you might be afraid of doing it or have like doubts. So I think pushing, more encouragement on things like that.
If you could acquire any skill, I guess skill or talent, what would it be?
I don't know, it seems like all the jobs are in engineering, so I guess if I could snap my fingers, I'd be like an engineer without having to go to school for 10 years or how much it takes.
Okay. How would you define success and, or just being successful, I guess?
I don't know, I guess how happy you are in life, how happy you end up being.
Alright. So imagine that you or your parents, if anything, if you could change anything about like the way they raised you, or if you want to learn something earlier on that you think if you were them raising you as a kid, what would it be?
Not growing up in so much of a bubble.
Okay.
Not being protected.
A little harder, but what do you think is one of the biggest problems that young people face today?
Peer pressure, bullying.
Okay. As in just not being able to like do things you want to do, or?
Well, mainly bullying.
Okay.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat. you groove. Ah, way you shake that thing, gonna make you burn, gonna make you stay.
How would you define being successful, or what is success to you?
It's being able to do what you want to do, pretty much.
Okay. So imagine that you're your parents, I guess. If there's anything you would change about raising yourself, if anything, what would it be and why?
Oh.
Sorry, these are big questions.
What? Yeah, I don't know. I think I raised three.
If you could acquire any skill or talent, what would it be and why?
Any skill or talent?
Any new skill or talent.
Boy, that's a hard question. I don't know. I'd rather be good at the talents that I have. So I'd rather be, but a new one that I don't. I usually go after the things I want to do.
If you could travel to anywhere, and it could be any real or non-real place, where would it be?
Malaysia.
Okay.
Could be, in general, Indonesia.
All right.
That part of the world. Yeah. Anywhere.
Okay.
South America would be great.
Gotcha. All right. For sure.
So.
If you could travel anywhere, and it could be a real place, a non-real
Sure.
place.
Yeah, I just want to travel more of Europe, right? I've just been to 2 countries in Europe, but if I could, I would go to every country in Europe.
Okay.
And it's partly because you realize that, since Europe is so much older than the rest of the world, like cities like London, right? They're probably over 1,200 years old, the city of London itself, whereas the United States is like 234 years old, right? Drop in the bucket compared to other cities, and you see that when you go to these places, you're like, wow, this is older than the United States, this house.
Yeah.
So I think, that's what really brought my attention and awareness to, why people should travel, because if you just stay here, you don't realize what else is out there. So, yeah.
First question, how would you define success? What is success to you?
What is success? Okay. I think success in one's life is measured in not how happy that individual is, but in the happiness of those people around them, and that sort of the love that he or she shares with the people that are closest to him or her. I think that is a measure of success. I think with that comes success and professionally, success personally, success socially. But I think that true success is, success in all aspects of one's life.
Go. So after conducting all the interviews, there's a lot of variation among them. But there were like similarities in some of the answers, especially defining success. A lot of people tended to say being happy, finding something that you want to do in terms of your own perspective rather than I'd say conforming to the American society. But there were a few interesting answers, a few interviews different than others. Definitely, the interview with Earl and what he had to say, very elaborative on each question, going into depth a lot more compared to other people. And you look at that one compared to say the guy who flew the kites, even though the guy with the kite didn't really explain much in his answers, you can kind of just feel where he's coming from. And just by looking at what he did with the kites, his love for the kites, and his commitment to that, you can see that he's doing something that he loves to do. And even though he doesn't express it in words, a lot of these themes are very similar.
A lot of the interviews we did were very, very completely different. There was a lot of variety. A lot of people felt like they the interview itself was pointless. They were like, oh, how long is it gonna take? Or like, you know, I gotta watch my kids or I gotta do this. I'm gonna leave pretty soon. So I felt like a lot of people really didn't like care for it. You know, I was behind the camera the whole time, but I constantly watched for people's emotions and how they felt about this. Some of them took it very seriously, like Earl, you know, going to depth with each question, and you know, he wasn't just talking through the mind, he was talking through the heart, and that's kind of what we were looking for. We were looking for, you know, the truth. We were looking for how is life gonna like play out for us. It's gonna be all these people are you know, completely different. They all come from different backgrounds and different, like, I'm gonna cut me off right now.